What's going on, everybody? My name is Podolsky, as always, and with me is the amazing guy behind comics again for the third time I think this year already, and he'll probably be back for many more. You know what? I like talking to him. I like to get into his brain a little bit to know more of what's going on with, you know, whatever he's working on, trying to get out there. Because you know what? Joey's an amazing guy, and I appreciate what he does for the indie world, of what he tries to bring out for all of us. Very basic, original content that nowadays is not reharshed into a bundle of stuff that we already know. So, without further ado, Joey Oliveira, welcome back again, buddy. And this time we got a treat for our listeners. And so let's dive right into it because you know what? It's different for you. As we all know, you're the head honcho of After White Comics, and now all of a sudden you're bringing us a card game.
Hi, Paul. Yeah, thanks for having me on. That's what we're bringing out next. Clash of the Cryptids, it's called. It's a 32 card deck with 32 illustrated cryptids, and it's kind of like in the theme of Top Trumps, where each cryptid is rated by all these different traits, and those traits are like fear factor, strength, stealth, deadliness, mythos, and so you've got a little bio about each cryptid on there also, and you basically play opposite your friend or family member, whoever you're up against, and you basically call out the trait that you want to call out that you think is your strongest trait, and then it works like Top Trump style, where they'll exchange cards if their cryptid is weaker than the other, and it finishes by whoever has all the cards by the end of the game. So it's been a really interesting venture into this, developing a card game and all the design and putting it all together. It's been really fun.
Now, you just mentioned all the cards, so in a same way of like, do you know what I mean by the card game called War?
I don't know.
Basically, like, War is you go through all the cards, but as two people play it, they flip over their card, and whoever's card is higher than the other person, they take it.
Yeah. So, if you're not familiar with Top Trumps, basically the other player goes up against yourself, and they read out the category from their card. They don't reveal their card because it would show the traits. So I could say fear factor of the Wendigo, and that'd be like something 80, and they could have like the Mothman, and their fear factor could be 70. So then your card beats their card then. So now you acquire the Mothman, and that goes into your deck, and then you flip your card, and then it's your next card, and then you call out again against your opponent what you think that strongest trait is again. That makes more sense.
Yeah, because I'm not real familiar with that card game, unfortunately. So that might be a overseas thing, maybe. I'm not sure, but kind of like how you didn't recognize War. It's pretty fast game, which I'm assuming this is like a fast game, possible.
Yeah. It could go on for 10 minutes. It could go on for 30 minutes. It all depends on who you're going to call. Because if two cards share the same value, then you both have to put your card each in the middle, and then you have to call another trait off the next card, and then it like doubles up. Then so you then take their cards and all the cards in the middle if you want your value was highest in that next round.
Oh, you just reminded me too. So, like in the card game War, not to cut you off too, but you just reminded me of something too. But so, let's say you and I are playing the War card game, right? You you pull out an ace and I pull out an ace, okay? So now we're doing the war. So now we gotta lay down 3 cards face forward. Or I mean the back of the card facing us, and then we gotta draw out one more card.
Mm.
And if that one, and then whoever has the highest one there gets all the cards there.
Right. It's like snap. It's like a snap. Putting all your cards in the middle.
Hmm.
You get the same value. You take it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might help me look up the game you're talking about too. So
yeah,
that way I can be more, be more ready for it as well.
It's easily picked up. You pick it up in like a minute or 2 minutes. You know what's going on. It's you could play it, sat down in your living room, or you could play it while you're on the train, or when you're traveling in the back of the car on a long journey. It's dead simple, and with all the list of cryptids as well, they've got their own lore. They've got all the details about what they are, so that it also makes like a collectible item, because you've got these individual cryptids cards that printed on a high quality card, 350 GSM, and like got metallic ink for the gold lettering, so it gives it a bit of a shine as well on the cards. So I really want it to be like a premium. You feel like you're getting a lot for your money. Yeah. Because a lot of research has gone into, when I was whittling down the cryptids, because it was going to be a 32 card deck, who am I going to get? And it included a lot of extensive research and reading up on, the backgrounds and like the mythos of each of them. And really seeing who's the most interesting, obscure, not the ones that people think about the most. So yeah, and the illustrator Gianna Junk, who did the individual illustrations of each of the cryptids, have just done a brilliant job. So detailed, and it's all drawn, hand drawn, traditional style, paper and ink. So you really get that fine detail and texture to each of the illustrations.
Oh wow, very nice, very very nicely done then. And is that sort of like the basic origin of the deck?
How do you mean? Sorry. Oh, as in how I put it together.
Right.
Yeah. So, it originally started from the 2 previous comics I published of Afterlight Comics, which was obviously the folk tales of the cryptids people might have heard of, volume 1 and 2. So that spurred me on into like this mythology and cryptid world, as you could call it. So actually, for 8 of the cryptids that are seen in the books, our folk tales of the cryptids are in the deck. So if you've read folk tales, you'll know that there's the Mothman, the Wendigo, the Chupacabra, Loveland Frogman, Jenny Greenteeth, Puckawudgie, Momo Man. So they're in the deck. If you've read the books, they've got their own cards, and we've got some more common ones that people might have heard, like Loch Ness Monster, Baba Yaga, Indrid Cold, Mongolian Deathworm, Beast of Bray Road, Popo Bawa and Ratman. So that's a good few of them. As you can tell, probably by these names, they do sound obscure, and once you see the images to accompany them, it's just like, wow, that's so that where did this come from, kind of thing. Like this creature you've never seen or heard of before.
Right. Well, it sounds fascinating. I'm just curious too. How did you come up with the, as you kind of put it, as like fear factor and the other type of traits that the cryptids have? So how did you determine each one numbers, I guess I'd say.
Yeah. So I had a big Microsoft Excel sheet with like a load of data in it. It had the fear factor, strength, and all those tallied across. And I had all the cryptids in there. And it was literally really looking at top 5, bottom 5, based on, the as I say, the research that I was doing on them, what kind of things they get up to. Are they friendly? So it'd be low on deadliness if they're, not offensive. And then mythos would be quite low if there wasn't much background or there wasn't many stories on them. So things like, the Wendigo and Loch Ness are going to be high in mythos, whereas things like the some of the more obscure ones, like the Ratman in the UK, that's not very well known, so you'd have lower mythos on that. But then you'd have he'd be high on stealth because he can hide in the shadows. He's quite small. He can a body morph into a rat as well. So you have all those things. They might be weak in other aspects, but they're strong in others. So it's a good balanced card game. Not there's not like an overpowerful thing that someone's just gonna win the game every time if they got a certain card. It's a very well balanced game, and that was really important to me because you don't want to just because someone's got 2 or 3 good cards, they're gonna win the game every time. So it's all about really about picking the right traits and what you think the other person might have, and that's there's a lot of, as you probably can tell, a lot of thought's gone into it. It's not just to this is a game putting it out there, but it's something, a new idea that I've had, and I've been very passionate about it, and everything I've been passionate about, I put a lot of thought and process into. So this Clash of the Cryptids has been no exception for myself, really.
Oh wow, yeah. It's always good, man, to finally see your stuff come to life, especially like when you've been working on it for a long time. Which I'm assuming was definitely one of those ideas in the back of your head for so long that it's like, well, is it time? Is it not time? And I bet you it kind of took a little bit because I'm assuming you had to play test it, make sure everything looked right, beautiful, creepy, however you want to look at it. Basically, find the right company for the job. And so, I guess one other thing I'm curious about too is so when one plays, is it like you shuffle the cards and then you kind of go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, you know what I mean? And then the other question I kind of have to this is, can more than 2 people play at the same time, or just specifically for 2 players?
So it's actually 2 to 4 player card game. So you can divide. So you got 32 cryptic cards, and you divide it by 3 or 4. For 2 or 4 players, and you'd have less cards each, but you could soon rack them up to be the winner. So you'd shuffle them like a normal deck, and 1 and 1 1. Just each card, each person, take turns in giving the cards to the dealer out and back again. But yeah, you can have a few players. Yeah.
Sweet. So the more the merrier. Nice. Very cool. Good family night game then, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, how about you, Joey? Is there any type of cryptids that are in this game that you absolutely are favorite of?
I mean, it's a bit biased to say because I've written a comic about him, but the Wendigo is definitely up there because of Wendigo wood and how much have wrote about that and know the lore about that. But we've also got, the Mothman. That's also a really cool, ominous figure. Probably the most surprising to me, would be the Mongolian Mothman. Sorry, Mongolian Deathworm. It's all blending into one super cryptid, just as I'm looking at them all. But yeah, Mongolian Deathworm, read about stories about that and how it's, travels underground and, just can jump out of it, the ground and take people in. And it's got like this poison venom and, yeah, some nasty creatures.
Very nice. Very cool indeed.
Mm.
So finally, let's talk about the Kickstarter here. So today, as people are hearing this as well, you've already launched the campaign because of the time difference. So tell us about the campaign. What is the goal that you set for this card game? How long is the campaign running till, and what can we expect for exciting rewards?
So the goal is £5,000. That's going towards the production of the card deck. And we've got a few pledges. I thought it's quite common, as we've done my research of tabletop games. They offer a digital option. So we've got a digital deck, so you can get a print and play version of Clash of the Cryptids. So you could print them out yourself on some paper and trade them out yourselves if you've got a good high quality printer. But if you don't, the cards still hold lots of great lore to read through, and even great illustrations. We've got obviously the deck on its own. You get the digital deck with that also. And also on the higher tiers, we've got the deck plus the Folk Tales of the Cryptids volumes up for grabs as a digital or physical version, bundled in. And then we've got a Clash of the Cryptids deck plus a limited edition gold foil print. So if you've seen the deck, you'll have seen that, the main image on the deck of cards. So that goldish emblem on the front. So you'd have a full A5 gold foil print of that, reflective. And that's just going to be printed for this campaign. So that's a limited edition one. And then right at the top, we've got a collector's bundle. So that's the deck, signed books, folktales, digital versions, the prints, and some individual prints of some of the cryptids, small versions. And then the very top, we have retailer bundles as well. So if there's any game shops or things like that would like to stock them, or any gaming groups or friends and want to share them out with each other, you can. There's options there as well. So and everything I didn't say before, but the deck's completely finished. The artwork's done. The cards are designed. Well, I'm basically waiting just to send them to print now, really. So we've got October deadline on each of those rewards. So as we launch in July, it gives us 2-3 months to fulfill that, but we should be a lot sooner. Everything's going to be printed in the United Kingdom, so we can keep on top of things. Nothing's going to be imported. We can always look where we are, and we can chase things up that way. So I'm really excited.
Very cool. Yeah, this sounds exciting already. The only thing I'm wondering is there an option for like the card protectors, or are these cards going to be like maybe possibly have a chance to become here we go, laminated? There we go.
So when you say card protectors, is that individual?
Like the card sleeves, yes.
All the cards come in, the 350 GSM box. Is that what you mean?
Like, so, okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. Could maybe UK, well, UK maybe should know what I'm talking about, but let me see. I'll give it a try. So, if you want to kind of keep your cards kind of nice and clean, we get like what they call the card sleeves, where it's like this plastic little card sleeve thing that you just slip each card in just to kind of keep the card clean.
So do you mean like a big like folder to put the cards in, is it?
Like each card was like in like a plastic like a plastic protector thing. It's
right.
Yeah.
Are you asking if we're providing it?
Yeah, like, are you guys gonna have like an option for like card protection type of things, or
No, probably not, because everything's going to be safely packed into the actual cryptids box, and then it's going to be packaged well. Pretty much as well, if you think about it, that's a lot of plastic for all the individual cards, and I wouldn't want to impede the environment that much by individually plastic wrapping 32 cards in every single deck. It would be a bit much, I think.
Yeah. I'm assuming that you wanted to get your
own. Oh yeah, because they're the standard. I think they're the standard. The top trumps dimensions, which is like Magic the Gathering dimensions. So probably every standard card folder. If you did want to buy one, you could definitely slot them in. Also, if it does go successful, we would like to do maybe an expansion pack in the future. So you could add to your deck, and so you could have an even bigger deck, even bigger games, more people. But I'm getting way ahead of myself, and let's see how we do with this one first.
No, yeah. I mean, that's fine. It's good to see that you're already planning for like I don't want to say sequel, but yeah, and then like an expansion deck. That's nice to keep the cards going alive and stuff. It's not like a one-shot deal where it's like, oh yay, and then you play it after a while. It's just like, well, the same cards. I cannot guarantee you what's going to get pulled at some point.
Yeah, it definitely freshen it up. After you've played it a few times, it'd be fun.
Exactly. Well, all right, Joey. I think that covers it, really. I can't think of anything else for this quick little talk with you about Clash of the Cryptids, the 4-player game now. I've only seen a little bit about it just by, what I've read and stuff. But from what I've always seen, you've always led the 2-player game. So, interesting about the 4-player deck. I don't think people will be disappointed, though, especially if they love your volumes of the Cryptid and stuff like that. And I mean, it may not be volume 3 of Folk Tales of the Cryptid, but this is a big start for you guys. And, maybe pretty soon you might have to start getting a different name for yourself. Yeah. Because now you guys are also offering T-shirts. And what was the other thing I just saw? I think it was just T-shirts. Something else too, I thought, but maybe not. I don't know. So anyway, I wish you the best on this as well. And
thank you very much.
Thank you for coming back on to talk a little bit about this. It sounds interesting. Hopefully those listening find it interesting. And yeah, everything, people who are listening, all the links will be down in the episode description below. I will drop the campaign in, so check it out for yourself. And Joey will always be there for people. He has not let any campaign down, and he got a fan base that will basically tell you that he's always on time. And if there was ever a time it was delayed, it would have to be because of the COVID incident, and that's it. Because he would have no control over the company of whoever printed and shipping all that stuff.
We this will be your third Kickstarter during the pandemic now. So you know what, the previous two now have been fulfilled and people have got their things, books and all that good stuff. So it might take a little longer, but they do get there, and that's within 3 months. That's 2 Kickstarters done and sent out. As I say, as soon as this Kickstarter finishes, we'll be able to go straight to print and start packing things up and start shipping it out. Really, we're all as set as can be.
Very cool. And hey, that's a nice little addition to bring out to your guys' con next year.
Yeah,
that'll be nice. You can play with people on the con floor.
Yeah, too right.
Now you guys won't be bored. Oh! All right, man. Well, once again, thank you so much. And yeah, for everything else that's going on, just to kind of remind people, so what is left for 2020 for you after the Clash of the Cryptids?
So after Clash of the Cryptids, we've got Birth of the Goatman, sequel to Rise of the Goatman. That's 50% complete now. We're looking at wrapping that up at the end of the Cryptids campaign. So we'll be soon to launch after that. And then Wendigo Wood 4, the final issue in that series. And then hopefully just to fit in at the end of the year, the final issue of Stay Awake 4.
Very cool. You're just trying to knock anything out of the park to basically finish it.
Yeah. 2020 has got to be the year to finish everything, despite what's in all our pathways.
Well, for you guys, it's been a pretty successful year, so hopefully that keeps going. So hopefully, fingers crossed that people will start getting a little bit smarter of what's going on. So hopefully we don't end up being back at square one again, like some places are already at as this gets released to. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening, Joey. Like I said, as always, it's a pleasure to talk with you. I can't wait to talk with you again about Birth of Goatman and probably chew your head off a little bit more about that, but it's all right.
It's all good.
All right. Well, any final words for the listeners?
Oh, just thank you very much for having me on, Paul. It's always a pleasure. And just for everyone to stay safe and look out for each other out there.
And there you have it, folks. Just make sure you check out the campaign today, Clash of the Cryptid, and back it while you can, especially if you want that limited edition deck that is only for the Kickstarter campaign. And just have fun with it, and then when you get it in your hand, start messing around playing, and you'll be a cryptid mastermind in no time. And until next time, I'm Paul Dolsky, and we want you to stay scary.